Hey everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. As you can see in the title, I'm gonna be looking at relationship coaches, and then I'm gonna be talking about like the strategies that they're talking about in their videos. I haven't looked at any of these videos, but I'm gonna go from what I think is the most helpful advice or like the most helpful video, and then I'm gonna start moving towards like the least helpful, like the most, incel. And also before we start, I just want to say that I used to watch these type of videos. When I was in high school, I think during my sophomore and junior year, I used to watch, how to get girls and like how to be more confident. So I kind of have some experience on like what the topics are going to be, but at the same time, I never watch content that it says stuff like you need to, lower her self-esteem to make her need you. I didn't get to that point. I will watch stuff for like how I can, make myself better. So yeah, that's how I got the idea to make this video. The first one that we're going to watch is going to be Alpha M. He was the one that I used to watch the most out of everyone. I and the thing I related to the most was that he made a couple videos talking about the insecurities that he had, and for me that was one of the first moments where I saw like a masculine guy open up, and that made me like him even more. But yeah, let's get started with it. That before we start, that's a good intro. Like that's a good song too. I really like it.
Gentlemen, today I am sharing with you 7 secrets, 7 tricks to get a girl to chase you. First psychological trick to have a girl chase you is put her ass in the friend zone. As a dude, there's nothing worse than being put in the friend zone. Even if you're not like super into the girl, you still want her to be attracted to you. And the friend zone basically means that this person does not find you sexually appealing. You treat her like one of the dudes, this is going to drive her crazy because she has a difficult time wrapping her
I used to believe that. I used to believe in the friend zone. I used to believe that girls either, liked you as, in a romantic way, or they put you in the friend zone. Like that, it was one of those two. Like you couldn't actually be friends with them. Um, but then I remember that a couple of years ago, I don't know if I saw it on YouTube or on TikTok, and the post said something like, guys complain about being in the friend zone, but imagine being a girl who thinks that you have a genuine friend when in reality it's just someone who's trying to fuck you. Like being put in the fuck zone where they don't see you as nothing else than, about a warm body. And that kind of that was the post that made me change or like realize that I was in the wrong.
her beautiful brain around the fact that there is a dude who is heterosexual who does not want to hump her leg. But do not let her hump your leg, not yet. You gotta make it work. Build it up a little bit. Bringing us to the second trick to make her chase the hell out of you. Ask her about her cute friend. Hey Janice, how you doing? Hey, good to see you. So did you have a good weekend?
To be honest, I feel like that's a good one. If I was interested in someone and they asked for, my friend's information or whatever, I will feel like I have to step off like what I'm doing so that instead of them being interested in my friend, they get interested in me. However, if I wasn't interested in them at all from the beginning, and they ask for my friend's number, I feel like that will make me even less interested in them. So I guess it will depend on whether or not the person that you're interested in is at least, a tiny bit interested in you back. If they're not, then it's gonna work against you. At least that's how I think it's gonna work. I don't know.
And that's great. Hey, so I was wondering, tell me a little bit about Brenda. All of a sudden, Janice's head starts spinning. She's like, wait a second. Brenda's never the one that gets the attention. That's me! I'm the one. I'm the hot one, not Brenda. Brenda's just like kind of average, sort of cute, maybe a 6.
I mean, that's a shit friend. Like, if you think that about your friend, just fuck you. But again, I feel like that would be a good strategy if the person that you're talking to or the person that you're trying to get is interested.
And I'm a solid 9.5, right? She can't even like wrap her little brain around the fact that you would be interested in her less than hot friend. Are you ready for her brain to explode? Then say to her, just say this, say, there's just something about her. what? But Brenda's like, what? Brenda, hearing the news that you think she's like something, she's not really sure what, because you didn't exactly say, which is part of the psychological warfare that's going on. She freaks out because you are totally out of her league in her mind. Brenda's gonna be blowing up your phone. She's gonna be sliding into your DMs because Brenda's like, I'm not missing out on this opportunity. And whether or not you hook up with Brenda is up to you. I'm not saying you should, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but just know that if you do, it's gonna get back to Janice, and if you do, then Janice is probably never going to sleep with you. Third trick to get her to chase you is reinvent yourself physically. What I'm talking about is give yourself a mini makeover. Go and get a fresh cut. Go out shopping.
Yeah, that one I completely agree with. I used to be the ugly friend, and it wasn't until I was in college. I think I was like 19, so my second year in college, when I finally had like my glow up, and it was because I finally had like a facial routine. I started putting product in my hair to make it have like the messy look. I started buying like these type of clothes that I actually like, because before, when I was in high school and my first year of college, I was wearing clothes that my mom bought for me. This one, like, this is a solid one. Like, you should put a little bit of effort in the way you look. However, I feel like this is gonna sound corny, but I feel like personality is way more important. So I feel like you should focus on that first. Like, I don't know, like work on the way you tell stories. I feel like that's way more important. But going back to the original point, yeah, like put some effort into the way you look. Like, you can complain about being single if you don't at least try to like improve yourself a little bit.
Get yourself a badass bomber jacket or a leather jacket or some dynamite jeans, some Chelsea boots. Embracing and channeling your inner bad boy. Now, it may be that you have a solid 5-year plan and are going to be super successful, which we'll talk about in a second. But right now, you need to look like a bad decision. Because women don't chase nice guys. They chase dudes that look mysterious, dark, edgy, and sexy. As long as you're...
This is this is something else that I used to believe too. That women went for bad boys and like the whole nice guys finish last shit. It wasn't until I actually started talking with like people about this, and women started telling me that they don't go for bad boys. They just like someone who's confident. And that's it. That's the only difference. And also, I feel like the guys that call themselves nice, they're not nice. They're still misogynistic, but they don't have the social skills to like be assholes to women. Like, they get shy around them, so they don't really have a conversation. So they don't really show like their sexist views, right? Like, in their head, they think that they're nice because they don't treat women like shit. But the thing is, they don't treat them like shit because they don't have the chance to do it. Or at least that's the way I think that's how it works. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
The fourth trick to get her to chase you is look more exciting on social media. There are two types of dudes that don't get chased: douches and dudes on social media that look boring. And so you need to make sure that the pictures you're posting don't make you look like a douche, but you also need to look more exciting. Now, in order to...
That's just hard though, because you need to go out to like do something exciting, and then you need to find someone to take a picture of you, and then you need to actually work on taking pictures. Like, for me, I'm still struggling with like posing, because that shit's so fucking embarrassing.
So look more exciting, chances are you're gonna need to step outside of your box a little bit and do different things. You can also just post like on social media like Facebook, like, yo, going to the game or having a good time or going, like, it just makes you look like you do things, you're more exciting, and this is attractive. Number 5 is be more successful. There's a direct correlation between success and attraction. I'm not saying you gotta make zillions of dollars, I'm not saying you need to drive a Bugatti, but if you are somebody who is sitting on the couch playing video games versus somebody who's going out, maybe going to school, working a second job, not afraid of hard work, you're out there making it happen. And here's the thing, this is viewed as incredibly attractive because the majority of dudes out there are viewed as lazy little boys. All right, so now we're kind of like done with games. Now it's all about you.
Okay, this one, the thing is, I do agree that being more successful is attractive. However, I also believe that people who make, hard work and like having a good work ethic, like the whole personality, like the people who brag about how much they work and like how little they sleep and stuff like that, that's a lot. That's a lot of work for someone just to go have sex with or date someone. Okay, let's move on to the next video, which is different. It's, a talk show situation. So let's see if they actually have like good advice. because I feel like it would be good for like old people, like people in their 30s or above that. Um, but yeah, no, let's see.
Now for GMA's Meet Your Match. And this morning, we're getting secrets, dating secrets from an expert who people spend thousands of dollars to learn from. I am here with international famous dating coach.
Also, if you pay to be able to flirt with someone or like to know what people like that's too desperate. Like just you should give up at that point.
Coach Matthew Hussey. Before we talk, though, yeah, very excited. The audience very excited. We want to give you a quick look, though, at his background. Meet Matthew Hussey, the 30-year-old dating coach and New York Times bestselling author of Get the Guy, charges up to $10,000 for private one-on-one coaching sessions.
How does a girl like you stay single?
Look, I'm attracted to you, but I'm insecure.
He's the dating decoder who shares his relationship secrets with people around the world and online with his 3 million social media followers. So get ready, love seekers. Your coaching session starts right now.
10,000.
Thank you for being on Good Morning America.
It's good to
So
be here.
it just so happens that we have an audience filled with singles. You guys are all excited. Matthew's really excited because you say now is a great time to meet your match.
I think now is perhaps the best time ever to date. We have never been so in need of real connection. We're lonely, but we have never been so bad at connecting. People are addicted to their phones.
Yes.
And they're never looking up anymore. So if you can do the basics or pick up the phone and talk to someone, it is so easy to win today compared to what it used to be.
That sounds very simple, right? Put the phone down and re-engage.
I'm guaranteed, these ladies will say that if a guy just picks up the phone to me, yeah, but the women will say this especially, if a guy can just pick up the phone to me, that already sets him apart probably from the last 10 guys I dated.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, right there, good advice already. So our viewers are also really excited. We asked them and they tweeted some questions. Devin tweeted us and said she's naturally quiet. She needs help approaching men. You just gave us one piece of advice, but what would you say to Devin who's watching right now?
Well, firstly, women can make the first move. Any woman who says, I don't make the first move, I'm old-fashioned, I say, then you don't know what old-fashioned is. A woman 100 years ago would walk past a man, she'd drop her handkerchief and she'd keep walking.
Making
The guy would see it, he'd say, this is an extraordinary opportunity to be a man. He'd pick it up, he'd walk it over to her.
So how do we translate that
He'd say,
today,
madam, you
though?
dropped this. And she'd say, did I? And she would then think, oh my God, he approached me, but actually she chose him.
Yes.
So if you want to translate that, there are 8 words you can say to a guy. You ask him a favor. You just say, I could really use your help with something. So you could be out tonight and say,
A date. I could really.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good. Like asking for a favor. I don't know. I never tried that, and also I never had someone like ask me for a favor as their move. But I feel like that's good. I don't know. I guess the $10,000 is worth it if you want a session with him. I think it's worth it.
With something. My hands are full. Could you hold my jacket for 2 seconds while I give these drinks to my friends? You take your drinks to your friends, you come back, you grab your jacket. Thank you, you're a gentleman. How's your night going?
All right.
He now is talking to you. He doesn't feel like he did anything.
Right. I want to get the audience involved, though.
Yeah.
So you talk about the power of the proper compliment. You're going to pay me 2, or 3 if you want. But 2 is fine. But you say 1 is actually much more effective at landing. So listen up to this. So you're going to pay me 2, and then you guys will let me know what you think.
So I could say, I really like your eyes. You have beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
Okay. The first one.
That one worked. Go on.
The second one is, I really like your style.
Which one is more effective?
Both are effective. One is easier to make if you want to go and talk to someone today. The eyes compliment is really, it's about something that you didn't choose.
Right.
Right? You were born with those eyes.
Oh.
If I say I really like your style,
Yeah.
I'm complimenting your choices in life.
Yep.
I'm complimenting something you've decided. So that actually goes deeper.
Yeah.
So that's an easier one. And it sounds less personal, even though it's actually more personal.
I mean, we would love to talk more to you. Thank you, Matthew.
Well, hey there,
That's
GMA
it.
fans. Rob.
Oh, okay. I also agree with that one. I believe that making compliments more personalized is way better than like a general pickup line. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it because like I feel like that's like I was saying at the beginning. Those are advice that are common sense. I don't know. I feel like it didn't bring much to the conversation. Now this one, the last one, is the one that I was looking forward to, which is one from Fresh and Fit. You probably seen their podcast or clips of him. I seen clips of him everywhere in social media, and at first I wanted to give him like the benefit of the doubt. Like I thought that maybe he didn't know that he was misogynistic, or that the comments that he was making were hurtful in some ways. But then I went to his YouTube channel because I wanted to react to him. And then I saw like a section or like a playlist that he has, which is the Womanizer Wednesday. And I don't know, that just made me not feel any empathy towards him. So yeah, let's get started with it.
What's up, guys? Myron Gaines here from Unplugged Fitness. Today, we're going to take a little bit of a different approach, and we're going to talk about the current dating market. I've been getting a lot of messages on my social media about why girls flake, why the dating market is the way it is today, how to get girls, etc. So I'm going to explain to you guys why girls are acting the way they do nowadays and how to overcome it. So on the female side, you guys can see that most women are competing for the top 20% of men, whereas bottom 80% of men are competing for about the last 20% of females, okay? So the best way to explain this is women are looking for Christian Grey, okay? That's just the reality. There's a reason why the book 50 Shades of Grey is so popular amongst women. You got a tall, good-looking, rich man, okay, that is dominant and has leadership qualities.
What do you think about that? Because I heard the whole thing about like 20% of men get most of the girls, but I never knew if that was a thing. Like, is there like scientific evidence? Like, is that a fact?
These are the attraction triggers that women look for in a mate. But guess what? Unfortunately, only a small percentage of men have these traits. So that's why women are very selective on who they date, hook up with, see, etc. So now that we understand
the face I made is because you can see the bald spot like he has two, right? Like he has one on the side and then one on top.
Why women mate the way they do, and we have an example. As you guys know, if you watch my fitness content, I like to apply an evidence-based lens to all my research when it comes to fitness. We're going to do the same thing with dating. Here, I have 4 studies that I'm going to reference, okay, that prove my point that women are looking for the top 20% of men. So for this, I'm going to put on my nerdy glasses. So the first study, in 2019, the Washington Post posted an article about a 2018 study that reported that U.S. adults are reporting the lowest rates of having sex, or aka the highest rates of celibacy, of any decade in the past 3 decades, and is continuously going down. Surprisingly enough, 23% of adults reported celibacy, but a staggering amount of those men that reported it were men in their 20s.
Yeah, that's something that I actually saw. Like how people in our generation is taking longer in getting married and having kids, and like dating and stuff like that. But one of the reasons that the study that I'm talking about say why people take longer is because people are interested in different things, right? The biggest factor is access to education, especially for women. They are more interested in like pursuing higher education and then focusing on their dating life. Or at least that's what I remember. But I don't know, maybe he has more data.
Now, there's a bunch of reasons for this. Let's keep it real. A lot of young guys, what are they doing? They don't have their money right. They might not be in shape. They masturbate. They watch porn.
Or maybe that's the reason, scrap everything I said. Maybe it's because guys masturbate a lot and yeah.
Play too many video games. Some kind of digital addiction typically happens where that keeps guys from going out and meeting women and being social. Next, 2015 Tinder study.
Yeah.
And this Tinder study showed that the bottom 80% of men compete for the bottom 22% of women, and the majority of women are chasing the top 20% of men. The men were 6.2 times more likely to like than a woman would, and even the most attractive guys only got about 20% of like.
The thing that he said about men liking women more, I feel like there's 2 reasons that are obvious. The first one is that men don't know how to take pictures. Like the pictures that they have in the profile they're not good. And secondly, because when I used to be in dating apps, I would just like everyone. I wouldn't look at the pictures. I would just, go right to everyone and then see if someone matched with me and then talk to that person if I find them attractive. And I feel like that's a tactic that most men use and women don't, But I don't know, maybe there's another reason.
Likes from the women. So what does this illustrate? Well, online dating stats are great because they show the honest truth about how women like to select and mate with men. Next, we're going to go into Okcupid. Also shows that women rate over 80% of the men as unattractive. And I know this for a fact too, because I've been on a bunch of dates. And girls even tell me, oh, I swiped right on you because it looked like you take care of yourself, or you're in good shape, or you seem cool, or whatever. Now remember guys, when I say attractive, this doesn't just mean looks, okay? Fortunately, for us as men, there's a lot of things that make us attractive, okay? Looks is just one component.
I don't know why, but I feel like he seems nervous, right? Like he seems like he's being pressured into like saying this. Like the way he's talking is like he's scared. Or maybe I'm just getting that vibe because I don't like him as a person, but I don't know. I feel like the way he's portraying himself is like not confident at all.
Status, your money, your confidence, the way you convey yourself, your mannerisms, all these things make you attractive. So does this mean that 80% of guys are physically repulsive on online dating? No, but what it does mean is that a lot of guys will convey themselves in an attractive manner. There's a big difference there. I know a lot of guys like to say, oh, looks are everything, looks are everything. No, that is not true. Women use a whole metrics of attributes to rate your value as a male, okay? Looks is just one component. So next, and more importantly, we're gonna talk about Instagram. Instagram has literally been a game changer in the dating market. Whether you wanna accept it or not, Instagram pretty much is the top dating site if you use it correctly, okay?
That's something that I saw he did. He will say that he wants to collab with people. He will invite women to his podcast, and then he will try to get with them. So like he will contact them through Instagram, and then be like, "Hey, let's hang out." Like, you know.
Here's the staggering results. Okay. More than 50% of IG users are female. Okay, in the United States, which you could pretty much apply to most Western countries, modernized countries. And then women get 5 times as many likes as men. Now, here's the reality, guys. Just like the world's globalized, the dating market has also globalized. So since women have access to higher status men, their standards have gone up along with the options that they now have thanks to Instagram, online dating apps, and this is why so many men are being left out in the cold when it comes to the dating market. All right, guys, so how do you get girls in today's modern world? Well, here we go, guys. The real way to get girls is you must self-improve, okay? No excuses. You gotta get your body on point, you gotta make more money and increase your status, and you have to learn game. If you miss any of these 3, you're going to severely limit your ability to attract and retain women that respect and value.
No, I like I don't feel like I look that good in like my face and my body, and I also don't have like the money or the status, you know. I feel like the only thing you need is a game. Like that's pretty much it, you know. But I don't know. Let's keep watching.
Value your company, okay? I'm gonna go over each of these. So guys, muscles. You guys got to get in shape, all right? You can't be fat. You have to be aesthetic to some degree. Now, what is the golden ratio of what women like? It's a 1.6 shoulder to waist ratio, okay? 1.62 to be exact. But the main point is you have to have that V taper. Unfortunately, a lot of guys overestimate what women like as far as muscular development by about 20 to 30 pounds. The most aesthetic physique to women, guys, is an Abercrombie model, Brad Pitt in Troy, and by the way, he was only 155 pounds when he shot that role. Brad Pitt in Fight Club. For the purpose of attracting women, these are physique goals that you would probably want to emulate if your goal is to solely get women. Now, money. Guys, if you live in the United States, you should be...
Oh, I thought he was gonna say like how you're able to like get that physique, but I guess not.
Working to make 6 figures per year, not just for women, but for your own sake. Whereas you'll have more expendable income, you'll have opportunities that you otherwise might not be able to have if your income capacity is limited, and you just get that freedom to be spontaneous. Okay, women love spontaneity, and money allows you that freedom to do so. Okay. With a bunch of other things as well. Game is being able to pick up on body language cues, understanding social calibration, conveying yourself in an attractive manner that isn't try hard, being able to read situations, and more importantly, it's the ability to attract and retain women that find you attractive in the first place. Girls have a looks floor, guys. You have to break that threshold for her to even see you as a possible other. You have to break that floor for her to see you as a possible mate in the first place. So you're going to do that by working on your physique, getting your money up, and when those two things are set, then being razor sharp with your game and being able to detect girls that actually like you versus girls that are just seeking attention, or worse yet, girls that are using you for whatever you may be able to offer, whether it's finances, experiences, etc. When you have these three things, guys, something magical happens.
I think it will be game, and then, working on like the muscles, and lastly the money, because the money one is like the hardest out of all of them. So I feel like you should focus on like the game, because that's the one that you can change. That's the one that's more important. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. But no, never mind. I'm not doubting myself anymore. Yeah, no, I'm right. It's game, muscles, and then money. Cause like the money you can't really help it that much, but like the game and the muscles, I feel like you can do it at the same time even. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna doubt myself with anything.
Your
Yeah.
confidence increases, okay? And when your confidence increases, you're not gonna tolerate. Right now, I'm gonna illustrate to you guys why most guys fail with women right now. Here's the reality, guys. When you have a scarcity mindset, you're naturally going to overinvest in interactions with women. And when you overinvest in interactions with women, they start to lose attraction and they start to see you as a lower value male.
I feel like that only happens if your only focus is getting with girls. Like you don't have any hobbies, you don't have any friends. You're over investing because that's the only thing that you got going for you. Like.
Now, we're going to talk about how to actually be successful with dealing with women, especially in the modern day world. So you have to work high volume, guys. That means you need to talk to a lot of different girls. And I know that you guys, a lot of guys, especially guys that I've coached, some of my students, whether they're my personal training students or they're my students that I work with John, we've coached hundreds of men on this. And a lot of guys have a difficulty with talking to a lot of girls. But what you guys got to understand is that women play the same game. It's just that they're much more discreet about how many men they're talking to. This is why women have a natural abundance mindset, because they're talking to a lot of guys. A lot of guys are offering to meet with them, take them out on dates, etc. You need to earn that same abundance mindset, whereas women naturally have it. So the way to earn it is you have to talk to a lot of girls through different lead sources: online dating, night game, which is basically going to clubs and bars; day game, meeting girls throughout your normal day life, whether it's at the grocery store, walking to the gym, etc. And then social circle game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He's making talking to women his whole life, Like, if you do what he just said, you're not gonna have time for like friends or hobbies or anything like that. Even your family, because you have to do it when you're going out and you're doing your everyday things. And then when you go out for like a club or whatever, and then you have to do it on your phone. You have to download dating apps or whatever. And then the social game night, I forgot what that was about. But still, like, you're making talking to women like your whole life, That shit, that's sad, dude. Like, there's no hobbies, there's no, I don't know, bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Okay? Or social media as well. If you have a good Instagram that conveys value, then this is what leads to dates and relationships. And then the reason why working high volume is important is because it creates an abundance mindset, okay? Which leads to minimal investment. And then women are going to be able to tell that you're not really going to sit there and give her free attention. And then the women that do like you will show themselves, and these are the women that you actually deal with, okay? You deal with women that have high interest and are willing to invest in meeting you. So you need to have minimal investment, right? So that you can vet the girls that actually like you and deal with those girls, okay? And you need to work a lot of volume to develop this abundance mindset, okay? So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. This was obviously a very quick summary.
I was trying to see like similarities between the three videos, and I couldn't really find any. On the second one, that's the one I really agree with, especially about the advice with the compliment. And then this one, the last video, I feel like if I was like 17 or 16, I probably would have listened to it. Because the thing is, he's making it seem like whatever he's saying is a fact. So I don't know. I feel like that shit's dangerous. Like, telling that to kids or telling that to like people who are just growing up. But he makes it seem like he knows what he's talking about because he's showing like stories and stuff like that. But I don't think, let me see. I don't think he provided like a link or like anything for us to. Oh, he did. He did. Oh, okay, never mind then. I guess I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you liked it. I hope that you learned something. Now you know how to pick up. Now you have game, right? And hopefully you find the one. Hopefully, these nice gentlemen help you find the one. And yeah, thank you for watching. Love you. Mwah.